What's going on, guys? This is Luke here. This is how we made $561 today trading NQ and ES. We actually took a win on ES, even though I barely ever trade it, but we ended up taking a win on that. So a break even on NQ, a small win on ES. We didn't really catch anything. We didn't really have that great a price action today. There were a few other setups that we could have caught on the way down, and I'm going to go over those in the Discord tonight. So if you guys want to join the Discord, again, for the live trade thoughts, daily pre-market analysis and all that stuff, link will be in the pinned comment and the description. And let's get right into this. So we're going to start with the NQ trade. This was the break-even one that we ended up getting. So starting off the open, I wanted to see potentially if price could come down lower, fill in these higher time frame fair value gaps, and then maybe we get a rotation back up, or we could look for continuations down. So initially we had this huge dump on the 9 a.m. candle, and we ended up running through London low. We ended up pretty much piercing through this 4-hour gap, then through this first presented hourly gap, and we just kept flooding down. So finally we ended up coming down and sweeping out these lows and Asia lows, these hourly lows and the Asia lows right there. So from there, I was kind of looking for a high risk to reward trade off of that level. So I was looking at the highest time frame inversion. So on the 2-minute, we end up inversing this 2-minute gap, coming back in and retesting, and we end up getting another sweep right here. Then from there, we end up inversing another 2-minute bearish fair value gap right here, which is our highest time frame inversion. As you can see, this gap right here, we come back in and we retest, end up getting an entry somewhere in and around here. I don't remember my exact entry. I think I have the executions on MNQ, so I'll post those in the Discord later. But exact entry, I can't remember, but we end up regardless entering off of this 2-minute inverted fair value gap, and I wanted to see price come up and fill in this 15-minute bearish fair value gap up here. So again, we swept out sell side liquidity, we swept out these hourly lows, London lows, Asia lows. We're looking at the highest time frame inversion. We get an internal liquidity sweep right here. We inverse the 2-minute, we come back in and retest, we get the entry. I give my stop some room just because I don't know if we're going to get another manipulation here. So we start pushing up into profit, and at this point, obviously, I wanted to see at least this 15-minute gap, and then potentially I was going to run it to these relative equal highs up here. So the risk to reward overall would have been good because I was targeting the bigger move here. So that's why I gave my stop loss. I think it was a 25-point stop. About 25 points, 24 points. So at this point, I moved my stop loss to break even around 10.24 or 10.25. And the reasoning, obviously, I wanted to hold to here until I did that. But the reasoning I did that was because if you look at this exact same time, ES was respecting a 15-minute bearish fair value gap. And this is what I talk about in that last educational video I did. I'll link it somewhere. I'll put it in the description, or I'll link it on the screen or something. But ES was respecting a 15-minute bearish fair value gap. So when I see that ES is still respecting a higher time frame bearish order flow, which is this 15-minute bearish fair value gap, I really don't have confidence in NQ continuing to long, because I'm assuming at this point, if ES continues to respect this gap, it's probably going to want to come down and take out the next sell side draw, which is going to be this New York PM low from yesterday. So at that point, like I said, around 10.24, 10.25, which is right here, I move my stop loss to break even. And luckily I do, because price comes down and it ends up taking me out break even right here on this 10.26 candle or whatever it was. Then from there, I flip to ES because I say, okay, NQ is looking a bit chopped at this point. So I'm looking at ES. ES is now respecting a 15-minute bearish fair value gap. We have draws at the New York PM low below. So I want to see if we can catch a short down to that New York PM low. So basically I'm scaling down, and on the 2-minute, we end up flipping this bullish fair value gap to the downside. We end up inversing it, coming back in, and this was my first entry right here. So we end up chopping around, we get into some profit, and I end up closing the trade out break even. And the reason why at first was because NQ was continuing to respect, or not to respect, it was continuing to push. It was continuing to push up right here, and we started to break structure to the upside. So my idea was I wanted to see NQ recorrelate with ES. So I said, if we continue to respect this bearish 1-minute fair value gap right here on NQ, then I'll hop back into shorts on ES. But if we flip this gap on NQ, I just want to be out for break even, and I don't even want to be in the market at that point. So finally, around 10.55 or so, something like that, we continue to respect this bearish fair value gap on NQ. So I'm saying, okay, order flow is being respected bearish on NQ. It's being respected bearish on ES. We're delivering out of a 15-minute gap. We have a draw lower. So I end up re-entering the trade after we tap back into this 2-minute gap right here. We end up getting a nice bearish close. I enter somewhere in and around I don't remember exactly the exact entry, but it was somewhere in and around right before 11 o'clock. I run stops above the wick right here, and I target one take profit at the New York PM low. So I actually recorded this trade and I actually closed it out manually because I think it actually edged the TP I had placed, which is crazy. Like it edged it right to the tick. But we ended up walking away with the full take profit pretty much. And I didn't go heavy on this risk. I think I threw down three cons or something like that. You'll see in the clip. I'll post it in the Discord, like I said. But yeah, one take profit, small risk to reward. It was around like a 1.2, 1.3, something like that. But just to recap both trades again, NQ comes down initially, ends up sweeping out sell side, sweeping out the hourly and Asia lows, sweeping out London lows. So from there, I'm looking at a highest time frame inversion play. We end up getting a 2-minute inversion, take the retrace after we get an internal sweep, but I end up moving my stop loss to break even as ES is respecting a 15-minute bearish fair value gap, and we end up getting taken out break even on that first trade. Then we go to the ES trade. Again, ES is respecting out of a 15-minute bearish gap. We have a sell side draw lower still. We go, we look, we take the first one on the 2-minute inversion. We enter again after ES continues to respect bearish order flow and failing to break above this 1-minute gap. We enter back in the shorts. We target one take profit at the New York PM low, and we walk away with a decent day. Nothing crazy, obviously no crazy P&L, but super happy to walk away with a profitable day. We have FOMC tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. And that's going to wrap it up for me, guys. Again, if you guys are interested in joining the Discord, links will be in pinned comment, description, all that stuff, and mentorship links in the description as well. And that's going to wrap it up for me. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.